Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I would like to encourage everyone on my Facebook friends list, everyone in my social groups, and all of my listeners worldwide. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button and share this video podcast with your friends, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. It's free. Help make this video podcast go viral by posting it to your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your X page, formerly known as Twitter, your TikTok page, and or on your LinkedIn page. This video podcast is available in three forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. We have upgraded our platform by moving from an audio podcast to a video podcast using StreamYard. We want to interact with our audience in real time through the chat rooms during our live podcasts. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our interactive Black grassroots media component. We discuss controversial topics that you don't hear about from the mainstream media. We're committed to reporting truthful and accurate news. We believe that now is the time for a comprehensive and new strategy and a new movement for Black people / African people. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. I give Black authors and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents to my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships, grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. I offer something that no Black politician has in America, and that is a solution which will solve all of our social problems in America. I can prove it if given a chance. I am talking about Ghettos of Chicago. We will offer a 21st century solution within the United States of America before we expand to Africa. Since I have little to no support for my cause, all I can do at this time is news and social commentary. I'm calling upon everyone on my Facebook friends list with 1,986 people, and everyone in my social groups, both Christian and secular, to come forth and join this new Black movement in America called the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. Work with me by getting my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition, on the bestsellers list. Read my story, and if you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform and let's talk about it and encourage others to join our cause. Also, donate what you can towards our film project. 32 years, Black America / Black Chicago have rejected and overlooked my vision and plan. This is why I wrote my story, to get my message out to the public beyond Chicago. At this time, all I have is my revised book, my virtual store, this online platform, my online social groups, and now my film project. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, which is Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants in America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. We will bring the best of the diaspora to each African nation so that we can set up local chapters and do international trade among our brothers and sisters on the continent. We will reconnect Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists. In this Christian business, our objective is to heal from the enslavement and colonization. So far, only one person has donated toward our film project. On our PayPal page, that is Minister Angelia Sunday. Shout out to that sister. Family, we gotta support this film project. Anyone on my Facebook friends list that's not interested in our cause, then delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it. And that's real. Over here, we are separating ourselves from off-code Negroes, degenerates, urban terrorists, con artists, pedophiles. Lucam would take the lead in solving Black issues within the United States of America before we expand to Africa, the Caribbean, and Brazil. You can find all of the links to my revised book, my virtual store, our revised GoFundMe page, and our PayPal page on my YouTube page. You can also find all of the links in the comment section below this video podcast. Upcoming events. Thursday, May 9th, we have guest speaker Mary Hopper, aka MJ. Monday, May 13th, Pastor Dr. Denise B. Lawrence. Monday, May 20th, Pastor Humble Lioness and Apostle Anthony Booker. Please mark your calendar for our monthly virtual conference. Facebook Live event, Saturday, May 25th. Theme, Lucam challenge any Black politician, any Black preacher, male or female within the United States of America to come on this platform and put me to shame. Where? Facebook Live /StreamYard. Time 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Live. This is called Side B. The title of this presentation, Racial Socio-Economic Warfare Against Black Americans and South Africans Tell Off This White Man. Our first topic, Racial Socio-Economic Warfare Against Black America. Wake up, Black America. We are in deep trouble, and our children will end up paying the price. The white supremacist financial elite has one major tool to fight against Black Americans, urban gentrification. This is happening across the United States of America and major urban cities. For example, places like the city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Memphis, Tennessee, a Black city. All of a sudden, the Ford company decided to build a plant there, and then here comes the state getting involved. On the political side, if Black Americans re-elect Joe Biden back in office, there will be no Black community, and our children will have a harder time in this country due to the off-code behavior in Black society. They will have to compete against migrant children for resources. I talk about this issue in my revised book 12 years ago about how my old neighborhood in Little Italy was being gentrified by the University of Chicago, Illinois. Now the Black neighborhood is gone. We lost Los Angeles, Harlem, just to name a few. I mentioned how the Latino community will fight like hell to help their people who cross the borders illegally for them to become U.S. citizens, while for 42 years, I have been reaching out to Black Americans, online and in real life, yet I'm still on first base. This is why our story needs to be told and seen by the Black world. The white supremacist financial elites have their lawyers intact, targeting our community through the courts. I want you to understand it's gonna have ramifications. I found an article from the New York Post entitled, quote, Wealthy White Louisiana Residents Win Right to Split from Baton Rouge and Form Their Own City, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium page and select the exact title of this presentation, then click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. According to the article, wealthy white Louisiana residents won the right to split from Baton Rouge and form their own city. They won a decades-long battle to split from the majority Black city following a state Supreme Court ruling. Black people finally obtained authority in a city after years and decades of mismanagement, fraud, and everything else. Then all of a sudden, these career politicians start telling you that your city is declining. They never say it's declining when they are in position of power. Baton Rouge residents who say they're sick of bad schools, high crime, and high taxes. The question is, what drove wealthy white men to this extreme to succeed from the city? Baton Rouge school system ranked last in a nationwide study in education. They also have one of the highest homicide rates in America. So Black people are moving from the parish in droves to other parishes that are thriving. The white supremacist financial elite see this as an opportunity to hit up the alt-right crowd, people like Richard Spencer, to incorporate a new city. I remember reading an article from the Atlantic back in 2019 about St. George in 2005, a nearby community. Central was unable to gather support for a school district from the legislators, so it incorporated as a new city a pattern that emerged over the past 2 decades. White wealthy communities have been separating from their urban code word for Black school districts to form their own school districts. According to the census, East Baton Rouge Parish has the fastest growing minority population in Louisiana. It's about race. The high crime rate and poor education is a deflection because they created these social inequalities. They meaning the white supremacist financial elites. When the white supremacist financial elites see Black Americans in a place of power, they feel threatened, so they make plans to bring that urban area down by targeting us as a group, by redrawing the voting map. This is called gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is the political manipulation of political district boundaries with the intent to create undue advantage for a party, group, or social economic class within the constituency. They understand what they are doing. They're hoping you don't ask too many questions. For example, go to Google Map and try to type in Baton Rouge. You will see the borderlines of Baton Rouge and the highlighted areas of St. George. Ever since the end of American slavery, the white supremacist financial elites has been targeting the African American community from Black Wall Street, Rosewood, etc. They have been breaking up and separating our areas through eminent domain. Eminent domain is the power to take private property for public use. This has been happening since 1865. This is why descendants of American slaves deserve reparations, because this is how the racial gap or the racial wealth gap occurred in the United States. No other group has gone through that. We endured, and now it's time for the U.S. government and mega corporations that has made its fortune from slave labor. Keep in mind, Baton Rouge has had the longest desegregation lawsuit in America. When you look at the conversations about a new school district, these are people who ultimately don't want their children to go to school with black children. Currently, the school district in Baton Rouge is 80% black. White parents in Baton Rouge do not send their children to public schools. They were claiming they wanted their own school district, but if most of their children are not attending public schools, what's the issue? It's not about obtaining a quality education. The issue is about the school district. The school district in Baton Rouge is 80% black. The white supremacist financial elites rewrote the district by remapping black neighborhoods, made the municipality smaller, put it on the ballot, and got it passed by a vote of 177,000 people. Now, they have impacted 400,000 black people who live in East Baton Rouge. This would never have happened if black Americans were on code with one another. But again, this off-code behavior among black Americans will be our downfall and will make life harder for our children and their children unless black America embrace my vision and plan. We still have some time. We're running out of time, but we still have time. I don't want to be doing this another 32 years. Lord knows that. But again, God gives us free will, so it is what it is. It's very frustrating, but I'm doing the best that I can. And again, I'm using this platform to get my message out loud and clear. It's going to get worse, Black America, so get ready for it. I just hope that I can connect with African immigrants that will work with me and Sister Renee to help speed up this process so we can get this business popping here in America for credibility, so that way I can expand it over to Africa and work with Africans that want more out of life. That's all I'm trying to do. I want African immigrants in America to support our cause and our Christian business so that I can expand it to the African continent. Allow me to break it down further. $300 million from the general fund is going to be taken away in order to create this new municipality. I don't really care if they go off and segregate themselves, but I do care that black people are paying for a portion of that white town. The first black mayor of Baton Rouge was elected in 2004. The city council make up a majority of white conservatives in Baton Rouge. They approve or disapprove of all of the plans of the mayor. And so when we talk about the progress of a community, we have to talk about the inequalities and the tale of two cities. We have to talk about how we don't invest in our neighborhood. If we don't have honest conversations about how we got here, then we can't have an honest conversation about how we can move forward. This is why we talk about race on this platform, because white America is segregating their children and the city and taking away resources from the African American community. There are certain aspects of this case that the justice did not consider for. One of the chief justices of the Supreme Court, who is a conservative, wrote a distinct opinion and said that this was a rush decision. They couldn't prove that they were going to pay for the services of the city they have proposed, and it's going to cost $47 million to run a city of 80,000 people, and they're going to privatize every aspect of the service of the city. They don't even have a plan for policing. This is one of the consequences for not getting involved with your local politics, Black America. What is it going to take for Black people to understand the importance of politics? The white supremacist financial elite is focused on destabilizing the African American community. We have no anti-Black hate crime bill legislation. We're being targeted for annihilation on American soil, while our so-called Black politicians are talking about prioritizing other non-Black groups. When you see all of this happening in Baton Rouge, Jackson, Mississippi, and Memphis, there's a reason why you got a story like this. It's intended to break the majority Black population. Governor Ron DeSantis is rewriting the history books in Florida to say that there was no slave trade. The white supremacist financial elites are targeting our children and our neighborhoods. When these politicians talk to the Latino community, they talk about economic resources. When they talk to the Asian community, they talk about economic resources. When they talk to the LGBT community, they talk about economic resources. When they talk to us, it's all fun and games. This is why I created GRCAM, to help get our members of the African American community in order and to help get us on code with working with African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, and Afro-Brazilians. When Dr. King Jr. gave his speech talking about how the American government brought over peasants from Europe, he said they were given economic resources to undermine what we had going on. It's happening again, this time with illegal immigrants crossing the borders, breaking federal law. These Democrats are using our tax dollars to support these migrants with medical assistance, housing, and food. It doesn't matter if you're the majority of the urban area. If you are impoverished or destitute population, then they will rewrite the rules to benefit their group. White Americans are living in their suburbs and stuff like that. They are wealthier than Black Americans because that's how plantation and slavery worked. The white supremacist financial elite is trying to make it where their resources are no longer eligible, or that their resources are protected and locked for their own municipality. We're going to keep our resources too. We're United States citizens, yet we watch the U.S. government under the Biden administration give away billions of dollars to Ukraine, Israel, as well as to illegal immigrants crossing the borders. What you see in Jackson, Mississippi is their goal. That's having like a large Black city that's impoverished and don't have any power. Because again, our people, Black Americans, are not on code as a collective because of this Willie Lynch mentality. Take away the tax base by allowing these other groups to succeed out. That's playing with their infrastructure. They are going to force those large black areas to crumble. That's the idea. That's the goal. Black Americans are allowing one group of people to determine the entire city, to the to undermine the fate of Baton Rouge. There's always been harassment, domestic terrorism, and economic warfare. America runs on money. The strategy is to use economic warfare and intentional sabotage to break black Americans. Baton Rouge and other urban cities need lots of investment. This is why it's very important that all of my listeners get behind our film project so that we can get our story out to the big screen in order to reach the black masses and the black world. Once the proceeds from this film starts pouring in, then we can build Kyle Chicago and make it a model for other urban cities across the United States in such places as Atlanta, Detroit, Houston, Dallas, and of course Chicago, as well as on the African continent. This is not about segregating us. This is about controlling us and making sure that we remain impoverished as a collective so that we don't become an economic threat by creating a multi-million-dollar independent economy. We gotta we got too comfortable sitting around just debating. I encourage all of my listeners to first purchase my revised book on Amazon and read my story. I provide the link to my Amazon author page below in the comment section. If you agree with my vision and plan for Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that we can talk about it. Also join my virtual organization, GRCAM, which represent all of my social groups, both Christian and secular. Finally, donate what you can to our film project, either on our PayPal page or on our GoFundMe page. If you are a U.S. citizen, you can use our PayPal page as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. My intention for creating this platform is to collaborate with other like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants who will work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. We have to stop this gentrification in our community as much as possible. Starting in Chicago, it takes a capital to get things done. I lack the manpower and the capital. This is why I wrote my revised book and created my virtual store in order to generate capital. But again, God gives people free will. I can't make anyone buy my revised book or buy items from my virtual store. But again, it's not the white man's fault. The white man is not telling Black Americans not to buy my book. The white man is not telling Black Americans not to buy items from my virtual store. The white man is not telling Black Americans not to donate to the film project. Again, that's a personal choice. My film, this is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants in America to work with us. The sooner we get this popping in America, the sooner we can expand it to Africa. We've caught between disinvestment in our communities and disinheritance from our land because the problem is racial, social, economic warfare by the white supremacist financial elites. The worst thing we can do is sit around and play games. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, South African tell off this white man. I found a video on YouTube entitled South Africans telling off this white man. South Africa won't be divided, unquote. To watch the full video, just go to my Medium page and look for the exact title of this presentation, then click on it and scroll down to show and prove. According to the video, a British man by the name of Phil Craig has created a political party called the referendum party. He claims to have South African citizenship. He is trying to separate Cape Town as an independent country. Notice no African immigrant living in Europe, Canada, or the United States of America have done such a thing. South Africans, I long to be in your country, but I lack the manpower and the capital to jumpstart my Christian business because Black Americans as a whole is taking me for a joke, and the majority of them are off code, and that's why my business is going to be membership based. I want to make sure that people that's going to be part of your camp, that we're going to work together and we're going to succeed. I want to make sure none of my members will never have to endure such foolishness that I had to endure. But I encourage South Africans that's listening to me, that's on the continent, to encourage your family or friends from your country that lives in America. Tell them about me. Encourage them to work with me and to read my story so that they can help me build your kind of Chicago so that we can bring it over to the African continent. 32 years of my life, I've been trying to find more people like Sister Renee, who is also a Black American, to work with me and getting our film project fully funded and made so that I can do my job. We have to get the kind of Chicago popping in America for credibility. When I come to South Africa, I want to be in a position that I can offer economic tangibles to my active group members from my African group called Ghettos of Africa. I found another video on YouTube entitled, quote, "Leave South Africa, go back to Europe," unquote. To watch the full video, just go to my Medium page and look for the exact title of this presentation, then click on it and scroll down to show and prove. According to the video, a female Africana had the nerve to tell a continental African man to go back to his country, Zimbabwe. Yet she does not see herself as a foreigner in Africa. These former colonizers need to be checked quickly and know their place. If they don't want to be around Black Africans, then they need to take their happy self back to their homeland, Europe. That's real. We did not ask them to come to our continent. They imposed themselves on us and created historical beef between us. They are acting the same way here in America. I'm trying to create a positive Black institution that will focus on healing our people from enslavement and colonization. Once we're established in Chicago, I will turn the business over to qualified Black middle class professionals and African immigrants so that we can expand the business to 10 African nations, starting in South Africa. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on the next video podcast. Please join Gracam by joining either my Christian groups, Light of the World Inspirational Group, or Christian Spoken Word Network, or join my secular groups, Ghettos of Africa, Ghettos of Chicago, or New Black Voices of Media, etc. Also exchange emails with me so that we can stay connected, because this is my third Facebook page. Hackers are forever bugging. I'm minding my own business. I ain't bothering them. I'm just trying to, talk to my people. Point blank. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support us on our PayPal page, purchasing items from our virtual store, or purchasing my revised book. The ebook is $9.99, or the paperback is for $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this video podcast in the comment section. If you're listening to this audio podcast on Spotify, just click on the YouTube icon and look to the far right next to my photo, and you will see more links. Click on it and you will see the About section. Then scroll down to the links. This will conclude our video podcast for today. Peace and blessings.